Hey everybody, how are you? Happy Thanksgiving. I hope you're having a wonderful day. My Thanksgiving is pretty much the same as it has been for the past 8 years. I am just chilling. just relaxing, not doing much of anything. I had 3 cakes to bake for customers and I got those done and out, and my plans for today and the past 7 Thanksgivings were just to cook breakfast for my boys. And since I'm not talking to one, I just cooked breakfast for the one boy today and then sent him on his way with his dad to celebrate with their family. Um, Other than that, just been low key. Responded somewhat to some of the comments posted on my last couple of videos regarding my son in the couch situation, sleeping on the couch. It's really funny because I haven't been saying anything back to people in person, and I really didn't expect to say anything back online, but it took me back to my political days because I used to respectfully disagree with people all the time when I was politically active, and I did that for years. So I'm not a stranger to um, responding respectfully to people and standing my ground and speaking my piece without attacking someone or losing my cool and stepping outside of my character. So it really felt good to be back in that zone for a second, but I'm pretty much going to be done after I address that with this video. The sleeping on the couch. Okay. Sleeping on the couch is a non-issue. That is not the issue of the video at all, other than he chose to pick a fight about sleeping on the couch because he didn't have anything else that he could pick a fight about. That was the only thing that he could pull out of his back pocket in the heat of the moment and attack my son because that's what he was doing at the moment. That was the only thing that he was doing at that moment. But he was mad at me and he was taking it out on our son. And it happened to be exactly when he got on a Snapchat call with me. So my son's calling me. He must know I'm talking about him. Been trying to get a hold of him for a while, but I will call him back. This won't be long. Yeah, he waited until we got on a Snapchat video call to jump my son's case about how he told me that they were making an extra stop on their vacation to DC. Now, it's his business what they do on vacation, but I always tell him exactly what I'm doing with our son, where he's going to be, who he's going to be around. Whether he has a say in it or not, I will let him know. It's just something that we've always done. And they were going to make a stop and spend the night in West Virginia. And I have no problem with that. It was just that he left it out. And I figured that he left it out for a reason. So all I did was send him a text. And I shouldn't say all I did, because I will accept accountability for, I knew that that was probably going to upset him. But I thought that he would respond to me if he got upset, and he would not involve our son in that. But he knew that my son told me, and the only way that I knew that they were going to make a stop in West Virginia is because my son told me. So he wanted to, instead of attack me, he wanted to attack our son because he was the one that told him, and he didn't want me to know that little tidbit. So instead of responding to me, he did not respond to my text at all about the extra pit stop. And he waited until he got on the phone with me to jump his case about it. Now, the couch thing. Whenever our son was little, and he was 3 whenever we first split up, and we lived in the same house for about 7 months before our divorce was final because we fought over the house. So I've mentioned all of these things in my other videos, but these people are watching just these videos and they don't have any backstory, and I don't expect you to watch the rest of my content, so that's why I'm restating it quickly here. He stayed in the den, and that was his domain, while we fought over the house. And my son, when it was his days with his dad, he slept on the couch in there. When he moved out of our house, after I got the house to myself, he slept in the bed with his dad. And then when they moved in with his mother for a little while, he slept on the couch there. And then he moved into a duplex with his best friend, and he didn't have a room for my son, and he didn't want him sleeping in the bed with him anymore. So he slept on the couch there full time, as if it was his room. So my son has been accustomed to sleeping on the couch at his dad's house for a very long time. Years, in fact. And the place that they live now, they've lived for almost a year. And he has slept on the couch every single night without it being an issue at all, until this very night where he got mad about something else and he chose the couch to be the issue that he got to chew him out about. So, for everyone taking his side and saying that I would not want my son to sleep on the couch at all, fine. And since this argument, he has redone his room, and he has slept in his room, in his bed, every night since he has gotten back from vacation. So my son doesn't have an issue with sleeping in his bed, but his dad has always let him sleep on the couch, except he had a problem with it that night because he was mad about something else. And that something else that he was mad about was the extra pit stop, and he has been trying to lay framework for getting me back in bed with him for months now, because he knows I have an inheritance, and he wants to be part of that inheritance. He wants to cash in on the money that I'm about to get, that my family tried to conceal from me, and my identity from me for years. He knows that they lost the court case, and it's about to come to me, so he's trying to slide in and spin the block at the last minute. And me knowing that they were stopping in West Virginia was going to let me know that he was going to be with another female for that night or that day or whatever. And that was going to ruin the framework that he has been laying to get me back into some kind of sexual relationship or some kind of good grounds with him. But that was all an illusion, because he was never laying any framework. I was never, ever going to go back to him or sleep with him or be anything other than a co-parent with him ever again. I told him that a long time ago and reiterated that when he sexually assaulted me in my apartment a few years ago, like 2 years ago to be exact, that would never happen again. So any framework he thought he was laying was an illusion that he was building in his own mind. It was never really going to happen. But he knew that if I found out he was going to pit stop with a girl, that might ruin any chances of getting back in good graces with me. But I don't care. I never cared. I just wanted to know where my son was going and why he wasn't telling me. I knew that if he was pit stopping somewhere, it was a girl, because he's a sex addict. I knew that's how he rolls. So I don't even care who it was or what that was about. I already knew what it was about. So I just wanted to know why he wasn't telling me, because I would never have left that out if I was taking our son on a trip and he knew it. So for anyone that's saying it's a couch issue, it's not a couch issue. He never had a problem with the couch, ever. Not one day in our son's life since he's been 3 years old, and he's almost 11 now, has he had a problem with him sleeping on the couch. So that's a bust, people. That's a bust, okay? And anyone standing up for the narcissistic behavior, in my opinion, is a narcissist. Because I read a post earlier, and I'm going to read it now. It's from a guy called, his name is Chris GQ Perry, and it was on Instagram, and it just happened to flash in front of my face after I responded to these people. And it says, the narcissist wants to convince you that your reactions to their actions are the problem, when without their actions, there would be no reactions. And that is just on period, because no one would be saying a thing if you weren't acting completely like a tyrant and you're trying to get everybody to bow down to you and think that you're a god and they need to know their place and that I should stay out of it or I should not say anything. or I should have clear boundaries with my son. I'm teaching my son to have clear boundaries with his father because this is not new to me. I was raised by a narcissist. I was raised by a completely narcissistic family, except for my grandmother, the only person who was ever sane in my family, ever. And she loved me immensely, and they all hated that because they wished that she hated me too, and that she would just treat me like they were willing to treat me and show me that my worth was nothing. The whole time out in the world, people are telling me how great I am and how there needs to be more of people like me in the world. Well, they didn't expect that. They didn't expect for my grandmother to love me. They didn't expect for me to love her the way that I did and us to have this incredible bond. They didn't expect for people out in the world to love me and show me what a great person that they thought I was, despite how I grew up and what they were telling me. They wanted me to believe all of that. They wanted to talk to me however they wanted to talk to me and have me believe it and feel beat down and worthless and like I should never be anything or dream or want anything or, heaven forbid, achieve anything in this world. And that is exactly what my ex-husband is doing to our son. So I am teaching him from the get that this is not acceptable. And even though he needs to hold his tongue sometimes, he gets fed up like everybody does when they've been abused for so long. He's going to start speaking back. And I'm glad that he is, because he doesn't do it all the time. And he is not a disrespectful young man. He is a wonderful, wonderful young man. And he has it in him to speak back because his will is so strong. And he knows that his worth is more than what his dad is trying to tell him. His dad does not play with him. His dad does not spend any quality time with him. His dad does nothing but drink when they get home and ignore him. So, enough of that. I do plan on getting custody of him, full custody of him, but Tennessee does not recognize verbal abuse at all. They said that it does not exist in Tennessee. So it requires my son speaking up. And my oldest son, I was also married to another narcissist. He was not willing to speak up against his father. That is the worst thing, is knowing that you got free of a narcissist, but if you have a child by them, that you have to leave them in that environment at least half the time unless they are willing to speak up, because the verbal abuse doesn't exist. So unless they're willing to speak up, you can't do anything about it without them telling a judge or CPS that they're ready to be removed from that situation and they don't want to go back. My oldest son, his father would break down and cry at the drop of a hat, and he felt sorry for his dad. It was very much Stockholm Syndrome with him, too. He did not want to betray him. He did not want to hurt him. He knew that he had been hurt so many times in his life already, and that's why he hurt him. So he didn't want to hurt him more by telling him or someone else that he didn't want to live with him. So he stuck it out until he was about 15, and then he told his dad that his dad moved back in with his parents, and he told his dad that he didn't want to live at his grandparents' house, and that's how he made his escape and didn't go back. So my youngest son, I've been trying to teach him at an earlier age this is not acceptable behavior from an adult, that his dad is in fact a child that has never grown up, and he's been enabled by his mother, by his dad, by his sisters, by his friends, his other family, by judges and lawyers to think that he's doing the right thing when in fact he is an abuser. He was abused, and he will admit that he was abused, but he will not admit that he is exhibiting the same behavior when he has never gotten help for said abuse. So it requires my son speaking up, and he's worried that if they don't remove him from the home and his dad finds out that he spoke up, then he's going to suffer major consequences because of that. So I have to have an ironclad, full 100% participation from my son to remove him from his dad's home for verbal abuse. Now, he does tell him that he is going to pop him in the mouth and put his hands on him if he doesn't tell him what's going on at my house at all times. And he tries to use him against me. But I know you're watching this. All you have to use against me is my channel. Everything is on my channel. You don't have to hit our son. You don't have to get any information from him at all. You don't have to gain his support and get him to lie on me. All you have to do is my channel. Everything is on my channel. It's all 100% laid out there for you. All of the abuse that I've endured, the abuse that you have done to our son. Well, some of it. The rest will come out. But yeah, everything is out there. You don't have to use him or put him in the middle anymore. It's all out there. I'm speaking it loud and clear, standing up for how this is wrong. And I had therapy because of you, and years of not dating and working on myself because of all the things that you did to me and that my family is still trying to do to me. Hence the other video about my uncle and his girlfriend trying to berate me, which I did not get all of that on video, but she clearly said that she was trying to push me to tell her why I didn't like her, which she already knows why I don't like her, because she abuses alcohol like there's no tomorrow, and she's a loose cannon when she's drunk. You never know what she's going to do, what she's going to say, and usually it's very unhealthy. And I set that boundary strict and quick when I got here. So she knows, she fully knows. But she's tried to get me to react and come out of character and fight with her many, many times because they have dirty cops involved. And she knows that I can't do anything from restricting her access to me in this house. So she tries to bully me and intimidate me. And one of those ways is trying to get me to tell her over and over and over and over why I don't like her so that it will start a fight. I don't have to tell her anymore why I don't like her. I don't have to talk to her at all. I do not care. She is a non-factor to me. But she told me that because I wouldn't tell her again why I didn't like her, that I'm a bitch. Fuck you. That I'm a broke bitch that needs my uncle to pay all my bills. Now, I said this in my first video. And they won't grant me a restraining order against her, even though other people are getting restraining orders against people that they were not related to or were in a relationship with for these same reasons. I can't get one. And she has a key here. And she does whatever she wants. So I just ignore her. Completely ignore her. Rise above that shit, guys. It's not hard. I mean, it's uncomfortable sometimes, but I don't give a crap because I'm going to win in the end. God has me. God has me. He will have you too. As long as you walk your path and you do what's right, God will have you too. So just put in the work, stay clean, keep prayed up, meditate, keep your calm, keep your cool. You'll be fine. But when someone goes outside after not getting their way with you and they fire a gun in the air 4 times, and then I have another video where my uncle comes in and he's looking around to see if I heard what happened, and he quickly gathers all of her things and gets her out of there because they know that either I'm going to call the police or somebody else is going to call the police, and she's drunk with a gun, which is a felony. So he got her out of there and got her to her house across the street in a matter of seconds because he knew he was losing control of her. She's a loose cannon when she drinks, and she was trash that night. So, yeah, somebody called me a young lady. That young lady's disrespectful. I'm 46. I'm so flattered. So flattered that you think I'm a young lady. I mean, whatever. That's great. It's great. Trust me, I was so flattered that somebody thinks I'm a young lady. I know I act young sometimes. I'm very much a kid at heart, but she is about 10 years older than me, maybe a little less. But she's in her 50s and he's in his 60s and I'm 46. So they were disrespecting me first, and that is the most that I've ever reacted to them other than the time that I called the police. So yeah, that was just me documenting them because they record everything that I do in the house. Appropriate and inappropriate, every single thing that has happened in this house, they have recorded about me. And God knows what they've done with it, which is a huge violation of my rights. But like I've said, dirty cops, dirty officials, that's what happens when you're in a cult, aka Masons. And pretty much everyone in power around here is in that group. So they have reach. But it's all coming out. It'll all come out. You'll see it on the news. This is going to be on the news. I'm going to write a book. It's all going to be exposed. I'm not making any of this up. It just takes time, God's timing. We don't want to miss any steps here because it's all very important in putting these people away and putting a stop to this kind of thing from happening to me and other people, mainly for other people, because I've been strong and I'm hurdling this stuff like it ain't nothing because it's happened to me my whole life. I've been training for this. I have been training for this my whole life. So I'm ready. This is my time to shine. God knew I was the one to send in. It couldn't have been earlier. It couldn't have been later. The time is now. I am perfectly poised for this mission. Here we go. Everybody buckle up, because here we go. I've been ready. I'm ready. All I'm doing is waiting on God's timing and somebody to say go. And I will go. And I will get them, because it's going to happen. But yeah, nobody really knows everything that I've been through. That's why there's going to be a book. I hope, hey, Netflix can buy it. It'll be on Netflix. Maybe I'll play myself. We'll see. We'll see. But this is far from over. I've just been here to set boundaries, stand up for myself, and fully document everything. So I'm the key. I'm the key. I'm the trap. God knew I was the one for this mission. It's all going to come out, who I really am, my true identity, why they've hidden it all these years. The inheritance that I have that has brought on this type of abuse, and how I shouldn't even be alive anymore, but I am. I'm here. So, yeah, I'm all of the things online that I'm having to defend. I'm not going to do it anymore, but it doesn't bother me because there's so much more to this than anybody knows. So much more. And your little comments are just the tip of the iceberg, the very teeny tiny tip of the iceberg. So when it comes out and it's on national television, you'll say, oh my God, okay, I get it now. Shouldn't have argued with that girl. I had no idea what I was talking about. And I forgive you. Boop. I forgive you. It's okay. You didn't know. Yeah, so I hope everybody's having a good Thanksgiving. I am so thankful for my son. I am so thankful for this roof over my head, for my car that's still making it down the road. I'm so thankful for my eyes that see, my heart that beats, my lungs that breathe, my arms and legs that work, my ears that hear. Every single thing I am thankful for. I'm thankful for being open to love. I'm thankful for being worthy of other people that are going to love me. I'm so thankful for my new beginning that I'm about to get. I'm so thankful for this bed. So thankful for food and water. I am thankful for everything. There's always something to be thankful for. You don't need a family to spend Thanksgiving with. You don't need a big Thanksgiving feast to be thankful on this day. And that is me right now, eternally grateful for every single thing I've been through, every single thing that I have, every single thing that I'm about to receive, the guidance, the security, the health that I have. I am so grateful, and I'm so grateful for all of you watching this. I'm on my way to having 50 subscribers, which is amazing. I can go live soon, and all of the views. I know this channel is going to take off once my story hits the headlines too, so I'm looking forward to meeting some of you that I've helped, for helping even more people to come from making it out of this successfully and intact. Yeah, I love you guys. God loves you, and you are never, ever, 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 ever alone. Talk to you later.